This month has been absolutely packed with Apple updates. Of course, we had the big WWDC event. We also had the beta versions of all of Apple's software releases, and also a ton of other Apple news. The biggest one for me is that John Ternus, Apple's soon-to-be new CEO, has some huge plans for Apple, and he's reportedly planning a lot of new major products for 2027 specifically. So get that popcorn ready and let's dive into not 5, but 6 of the biggest updates when it comes to Apple. Okay, so one of the biggest stories of the month, and also one of the most important ones in years, comes from Mark Gurman. And it's all about what John Ternus is actually planning to do when he takes over as Apple CEO on September the 1st. You see, the thing is, John Ternus knows that Apple's design team has a problem, and fixing it is his #1 priority. Here's some context. After Johnny Ive left Apple back in 2019, the design team actually lost a lot of its power. Jeff Williams, the COO at the time, took direct oversight of the industrial design group, which sounds fine on paper, but it was actually a massive cultural shift. That's because the design team became a group that didn't even have a seat at the executive table. Unsurprisingly, talent started walking out the door. Experienced designers left to join either Johnny Ive's firm, LoveFrom, started their own companies, or moved to competitors. And all of that did show, not in the build quality, which remained excellent, but in the coherence of Apple's design philosophy. You see, hardware products started feeling a bit disconnected from each other, while software faced criticism for prioritizing visual novelty over clarity. Wink wink, iOS 26 Beta 1. But now Ternus, according to Mark Gurman, is fully aware of this, and has already begun putting in the groundwork. He's been spending considerable amount of time in touch directly with Apple's industrial design group. What Gurman notes is already in stark contrast to Tim Cook's historically more limited presence there. So yeah, the big plan is to restore the design team's authority, rebuild their leadership structure, and likely appoint a senior design executive for the first time since Johnny Ive's era. And Apple's PR team is already leaning heavily into this, as Ternus has been publicly positioned as the face of recent design wins like with the MacBook Neo. Now, all of this is really cool, but it actually matters even more when you take a look at what's coming next, because Mark Gurman's same newsletter lays out what may be Apple's most ambitious product roadmap in years. And that's going to start from 2027. Now, of course, we already know that the foldable iPhone is dropping this fall alongside the iPhone 18 Pro lineup. That's Ternus's first major product as a CEO, and a huge moment for Apple. But the products planned for next year are actually something else entirely. First off, we've got the iPhone 20. Yeah, 20 as in the 20th year anniversary of the original iPhone. And this iPhone will truly be something special, just like the iPhone 10 was back in 2017. We've actually made a separate video on the iPhone 20 right here in case you're curious to check that out. Then there's AirPods with cameras. As we've also previously reported, Apple is planning a new tier of AirPods with built-in cameras designed specifically to power next-gen Siri interactions. And then the smart glasses. Gurman says that Apple is developing at least 4 different styles of smart glasses, and they're betting on superior materials to stand out from the competition. Specifically, a high-end material called acetate, which is more durable and more premium than standard alternatives. And given where the wearable market is heading, this is actually a significant move. We may even see a tabletop robot, which would be a version of the upcoming Smart Hub that would feature a robotic arm. That would be pretty cool. Speaking of cool stuff, we've recently launched our new online store for WallpaperZ, where we've got every single pack from our app. That's close to 300 packs and counting. They're all in stunning 8K quality and made with tons of love and care by our community of designers. And we are offering a 30% limited time discount for any pack you purchase until Monday the 29th of June. So simply go to wallpaperzapp.com to check it out. Okay, now let's talk about something that may affect every single one of you watching this video. You see, Tim Cook sat down with the Wall Street Journal this week and confirmed what a lot of people have been dreading. Apple prices going up. And according to Apple, it's unavoidable. The culprit is the global memory and storage chip shortage, which has been driven almost entirely by AI. You see, companies like Google, Microsoft, and Meta, they've been throwing absolutely staggering amounts of money at the AI infrastructure, and that demand has effectively outbid consumer electronic companies for memory supply. Chip manufacturers are prioritizing data center clients, which in turn leaves far less supply for, smartphones and computers. Cook described this situation as a 100-year flood and called it unlike anything else he's seen in his over 40 years in the industry. He said that Apple has been trying to shield customers from these increases, but the situation has become unsustainable. Research firm Tech Insights estimates that Apple would need to raise the iPhone 18 Pro prices by around $270 just to maintain its current profit margins, which would put it somewhere around $1299 to start with. And I've got a feeling that these price increases are pretty imminent, and then in September, when the new iPhones launch, we could see an even further price increase depending on how the whole memory and storage crisis evolves. iPhone 18 Pro Max from $1699? That could be possible. Now, if you're frustrated about that, wait until you hear about this one. When watchOS 27 was announced, Apple revealed that it would actually drop support for 5 different Apple Watch models: the Series 6, 7, 8, the SE2, and even the original Apple Watch Ultra. That's 3 years of devices cut in a single update, which has not happened for any Apple Watch line before, or I don't think even for any Apple product before. Now, Apple has now finally responded to this backlash by speaking to TechRadar. Kate Dooley, Apple Watch's product marketing manager, said that it all comes down to performance, the new Siri AI features, and the new tap gesture that all require more processing power. Processing power that's found in the Series 9 or later, Ultra 2, Ultra 3, and the SE3. David Clark, Senior Director of watchOS Engineering, added that one of the core goals of watchOS 27 was making the Apple Watch a true co-partner to Apple Intelligence. He talked about wanting Siri to feel like one consistent Siri. Whether you're asking from your wrist or from your phone, you would still access the same data and context. It's a reasonable technical argument, but the pushback from users is equally reasonable, I would say, especially for people who bought an Apple Watch Ultra just a couple of years ago for $800, only to find that it's now on the security updates only list. Oh, and if you bought a second generation Apple Watch SE, which by the way was still being sold in brand new Apple stores up until August last year, well, guess what? You're not going to get any more updates, which is just insane. Which is very concerning because people that are far less knowledgeable than you guys are, right, and they don't really know when a new update for a new watch is going to come out, well, those people are the ones who probably bought the second gen SE 1 month before the SE3 came out. Now, this next one is quite interesting. President Trump posted on Truth Social that Apple has agreed to work with Intel to design and produce chips in the US. And Intel stock immediately went up over 9% in pre-market trading. The catch is that neither Apple nor Intel initially confirmed anything. Intel said that it wouldn't comment on a potential Apple-Intel agreement, and Apple also stayed completely silent. But Ming-Chi Kuo suggested that the arrangement would involve Apple's upcoming M7 chip that will be manufactured on Intel's 18A manufacturing node, potentially for the MacBook Air and the upcoming iPad Pro that would target a late 2027 production. For Apple, this is about diversifying away from its heavily reliance on TSMC, which is under enormous capacity pressure from the AI chip demand. For Intel, of course, landing Apple as a foundry customer would be a massive validation of their whole turnaround strategy. And finally, we have the Apple Car. Yeah, remember that one? Well, Waymo has now purchased Apple's self-driving car test facility in Whitman, Arizona, a 5,500-acre proving ground that Apple's originally bought in 2021 for $125 million. The sale price? $220 million. Over 2 years after the Apple Car project, internally known as Project Titan, was officially declared dead, yeah, Apple is now selling off the last major physical remnant of it. But the thing is, Apple spent an estimated $10 billion on Project Titan over about a decade ago. The $20 million that they got back is barely 2% of that. Now, Waymo does plan to use the site for controlled environment testing, rider-only runs, motion control, operational workflows, and all of that. The site has a 4-mile oval track, a 115-acre city course, a freeway testing course, and a vehicle dynamics area. So it is a really cool area for just, testing their vehicles. But the sad part is that, yeah, the Apple Car is now entirely gone. This test track is also gone, and honestly, for better or worse, that chapter is closed, which I think is really sad to see, because at the end of the day, the Ferrari Luce that we saw unveiled not that long ago, to me, it kind of feels like the Apple car that we never got, both in terms of its interior design with all of the attention to detail, as well as the exterior. For example, if you just replace the Ferrari logo with an Apple logo, well, yeah, it kind of does look like at home. But there we go, that's everything for this month. Do give this video a like if you have enjoyed it to see more like this one, and subscribe for some really cool hands-on videos coming out very, very soon on some products that are also coming out very soon. Don't forget about our 30% limited time only discount for our WallpaperZapp.com store. Just go to WallpaperZapp.com to check it out. I'm Daniel, this is ZONEofTECH, and I'll see you guys in the next one. ZONEofTECH, signing out. Cheers.